Hey, what up everybody, it's Cinny, and this is Gems of War on PS4, and today I'm going to be attempting Arena on Warlord 2. We've done Warlord 1, we've done Hard, all without dawnbringer, and the reason I'm doing this is because in the recent update, the 4.5 patch, they said there may be changes to the difficulty slider. They kind of mentioned it in passing. They didn't really say exactly what was going to happen, but they're working on changes to the difficulty slider. They just took it out of challenges. Used to be able to do soul farming and challenges with the difficulty slider, putting it on Warlord 1 or 2 or whatever. That's gone. Think about the difficulty slider. Where do you actually use it? The only place we really use it is in Explore for soul farming. There's no other place in the game where you use the difficulty slider, so just in case they take it out of Arena, or they change it, or they remove Arena completely, you don't know what's going to happen. They are hinting towards making changes, so before they do this, I'm going to try to go as far as I can. Warlord 2, 3, 4, whatever I can get done before the next update, which is sometime in October. It's soon TM, but sometime in October. Looks like in mid-October probably. As soon as next week though. So at least getting Warlord 2 done here. For my own sense of accomplishment, there's no reason to do this. Should you do this? No, there's no reason to do this. Normal is fine. But what can you get from playing Arena on normal? You can get souls. Soul farming at an early level is best done in Arena, in my opinion. Most people early in the game don't have Ferrous Ra. Most people early in the game don't have the Dragon Soul. Even people between level 500 and 1000. Some of them aren't going to have both of them. I didn't have Ferrous Ra until I hit like level 1000 or higher. The Dragon Soul I think I got early, but even if you have the Dragon Soul, it's not ideal to do soul farming with just the Dragon Soul. You kind of need Ferrous Ra. For the meta soul farming team right now, you need Dragon Soul and you need Ferrous Ra. And you also need Umberwolf, which is I think a legendary troop. So you need 2 legendaries and a mythic to do soul farming. So Arena is a good alternative for people, you know, between level 100 and 1000 that don't have one or the other. And most of the time people don't have Ferrous Ra until they get to at least level 900, 1000, something like that. So anybody in that situation without the Dragon Soul, without Umberwolf, without Ferrous Ra, this is a good alternative early in the game. I'm not going to say once you have Ferrous Ra and the Dragon Soul that this is a good thing to do. It's still worth doing, I think, just because it's fun and it gives you a decent amount of souls and trophies. But there's better alternatives once you get higher in the game and you have Ferrous Ra and Dragon Soul. But earlier on in the game, when you don't have one or the other, or either one, this is a really good option. And you can easily beat it on normal without dawnbringer. You do not need dawnbringer. If I can do it on Warlord 2, like I'm showing you right now, then you can do it on normal with Runic Blade. And that's the whole reason to play Arena, is for early soul farming. It's also good trophy gain for your guild requirements. If say you're in a guild, say you're level 750, you don't have Ferrous Ra yet, your Dragon Soul team, something's wrong with it, maybe you don't have Umberwolf as well, so you're going to do Arena to start building up those souls for your dawnbringer. Also, alongside souls, you can also get 30 trophies for completing Arena. This is the most trophies per battle in the game. It's almost 4 trophies per battle. The only other place you can even get close to that is 3 trophy PvP, which is hard, it's difficult, it's almost as hard as like Guild Wars or something like that. People set difficult defend teams sometimes. It's one of the harder things in the game is 3 trophy PvP. Can I beat it most of the time? Yes, but I'm level, 1100 or whatever I am. I'm talking about people who are level between 500 and 1000. 3 trophy PvP, pretty hard for, people that don't have every single troop in the game. So this is an easier way to get those trophies for your guild. Because you need to be in a guild. That's like the very first thing you should do in this game. Everybody pulls their resources. You get resources up to 30 times faster than if you play solo. You gotta get in a guild. Sometimes it requires trophies. Like, for example, my guild requires 200 trophies. So sometimes when I have 170 or whatever, and I'm sick of doing PvP, I will jump into arena, have a little random fun that actually takes skill. It's not pay to win at all. You can't throw gems and money at it. You can't buy more turns. You can't get that participation trophy like everything else in this game. You gotta be good at the game and, play well. You can't just keep throwing money at it. You gotta play well. I mean, you can throw money at it in the sense that you can keep trying and trying and trying, but that's not gonna help you win. That's just gonna, you'll get better at it probably by playing it over and over and over. So how do you get Runic Blade, the main component of this guide? 20 green mastery and 20 yellow mastery. What is mastery? When you level up, it'll give you a choice between 2 colors to increase in mastery. You have to pick one or the other. If green pops up or yellow pops up and you choose it, that's what mastery is. You have to do that 20 times for green, 20 times for yellow. So that's where I get level 40 as the earliest you could get Runic Blade. Does that ever happen? No. People aren't getting it at level 40. They're probably going after Mountain Crusher, their brown mastery. They're probably going after Mang, their red and brown mastery. But after that, yeah, Runic Blade probably should be in your top 5 weapons to get from mastery. And since it requires 20 green and 20 yellow, I would say you can get it between level 100 and level 200. Probably. You could get it sooner than that. You could get it later than that. It's all luck of the draw on what mastery pops up for you after you level. It might be on some sort of rotation, so I'm not sure exactly. But you need 20 yellow and 20 green basically, so at least level 40, and probably by level 200 you could have Runic Blade, I'd say. So level 200 is not that hard to get to. So Runic Blade is easily obtainable, way more easy to get than Dawnbringer, which you're going to have to be at least level probably 1000 before you can get Dawnbringer realistically. And this is a way to help get Dawnbringer by farming souls earlier than, waiting on Ferris Ra or the Dragon Soul and the perfect team with Umber Wolf and Necromancer. There is other ways to soul farm without Ferris Ra and the Dragon Soul, but it includes like Warlocks and Valkyrie and Necromancer class, and it's very slow. It's very slow. It could, if you're really really good at it and you have the perfect Warlock, Valkyrie, Necromancer type team or whatever other troop that gains souls that isn't the Dragon Soul or Umber Wolf, or I know Umber Wolf doesn't gain souls, but he's part of that team. Ferris Ra, whatever other slow consolation troop that you want to pick that you can put in your soul farming team, it's not going to be that much faster than arena, if it is faster, and it's going to be boring as hell using 3 Warlocks and a Valkyrie or whatever. That really sucks to use and to farm for a long period of time. While arena is fun, it's random, it challenges you, it makes you think. I think it's way better than using a crappy soul farming team for early game. I'm not saying you should do it past level 1000. I'm not telling people that are level 900 or level 1000 and almost to that Dawnbringer to don't use Ferris Ra, don't use the Dragon Soul, play arena. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you don't have Ferris Ra and you don't have the Dragon Soul, to play arena. It's better than a Warlock team or something like that, especially with the new changes to challenges. Soul farming overall got slower, so arena kind of jumps up a little bit in the pecking order for soul farming because of that. So the main component, once you get Runic Blade, which I just told you how to do, 20 green mastery, 20 yellow mastery, the main thing after that is you gotta learn how to pick your team in arena. Runic Blade is yellow and green. That's the colors it uses. Its spell, it kills. When it kills, it gains plus 10 to every stat. That is awesome in Arena. So you have to get a kill with it. That's the whole thing with this team. That's what we need to get. That is the goal. The goal is to get a kill with Runic Blade. Then you win. It's that easy. Get a kill with Runic Blade and you win, because you're going to get plus 10 to all stats. You're going to get plus 10 attack. You're going to get plus 10 magic. Your next spell is going to do twice as much damage, almost. And you're going to have more durability. You're going to be harder to kill. All that. So, choosing a team is very important. You want to choose 3 troops that are going to supplement the Runic Blade getting a kill, basically. That are not yellow or green. Because Runic Blade is yellow and green, you want to cover as many colors as possible. There's no banner in Arena. So you want to cover as many colors as possible, so every time you're matching gems, you're getting something out of it. So let's say there's 3 commons. You got to pick from 3 commons. What you want to do, the first thing you want to look for is targeted damage on a troop that is not yellow or green. So find a troop that's not yellow or green that can do targeted damage. So you can target that weakest enemy, the one that has 15 HP or 14 HP or whatever you need to get under. Like my Runic Blade does 14 damage, so I need to get the enemy down to 14 to get a kill. Maybe yours does 13, maybe yours does 12, whatever. That's what you need to get it to. So you need to do targeted damage on their weakest troop to get them under that threshold so you can get a kill with Runic Blade. So that's what you're looking for. That's the #1 thing you're looking for. And ideally it's not yellow or green, because you don't want Runic Blade to block it. Runic Blade's going to be in the first slot on your hero. So any troop that's yellow or green is going to get blocked by Runic Blade. So you want to try to have, coloration, cover every color. Wow, say that 5 times fast. So hopefully it's not yellow or green, and hopefully it does targeted damage. If it does not, like say it gives you 3 crappy troops, like in this case here, somehow I got Innkeeper as my best choice on commons, and Innkeeper is terrible. He steals magic from his own team and gives them like 4 attack or something crappy, and he uses yellow, which is terrible for Runic Blade. If you get 3 crappy choices, as long as it's giving some sort of mana to Runic Blade, it does some sort of explode, it spawns yellow or green gems, it gives a barrier, it gives enchant, anything that can help Runic Blade in some way, and as long as it doesn't use yellow or green, that's a decent choice. So once you pick that common troop, let's say the common troop you pick explodes gems, and it's going to give Runic Blade some mana, and it uses red and purple as its colors. So now for our rare troop, that's going to be our next choice. It's going to give us 3 random rare troops to choose from. What you're going to want to do there is remember what you've already picked. It doesn't let you see what you've already picked. You have to remember what you've already picked. Obviously it's going to be Runic Blade all the time, so yellow and green. And then whatever you picked for your common, in our fictitious case we picked red and purple. So we already have green, we already have yellow, we already have red, we already have purple. So what's left? Brown and blue. So for our rare troop, for our pick out of the 3 random rare troops, we want to pick something that is either blue or brown or both. And the common troop we picked is Exploding Gems. That's our fictitious common troop we picked. Exploding Gems to give Runic Blade some mana. So we still need that targeted damage, or AoE damage is a nice second choice, where they do damage to every enemy. You can hopefully hit that weakest enemy for enough damage to knock them under the kill threshold for Runic Blade. So for that rare troop, we need to find some targeted or AoE damage. So that's what you're going to look for. You're going to look for either brown or blue, because we already have red, purple, yellow, and green. So let's say we find a blue troop that does AoE damage, and that's our rare troop. So now we go on to our ultra rare choice. There's 3 ultra rare troops, 3 random ultra rare troops. They're usually the best troops. You're always going to find probably at least one good troop in there. Like I got Enchantress. Enchantress I would always recommend, especially if you don't have purple yet. Does damage to every enemy and enchants a random troop. So that's pretty awesome. Hopefully that'll knock the weakest enemy under the kill threshold for Runic Blade, and maybe even enchant the Runic Blade. Pretty awesome. And uses purple, which we needed. So for our last slot, we already have the targeted, or we have AoE damage, and we have mana generation. So now I like to have at least 2 troops doing some sort of damage. So, but what we're looking for, what I say, blue for the 3rd troop, or did I say brown? Whatever it was, the opposite of that is what we're going to look for. So let's say I said blue, I can't remember. So now we need to find a brown troop that does some sort of damage in our last slot. If you can't find it, like if it's impossible, there's no brown troop there, then whatever's fine. You're just not going to have brown. Try not to pick a color that you already have like 2 of. Try not to pick yellow or green, because you're going to be going hard with that Runic Blade. But just pick a color you don't have a lot of. Try to pick a color you don't have already. In our case, it would be brown or blue or whatever I said. And try to remember what you already have picked. So I'm looking for some sort of other damage with this last troop. If that's not possible, then I will look for either more mana generation for Runic Blade, or some sort of barrier, enchant, attack increase, magic increase, something that's going to help in some way. The main thing with picking your team, every troop needs to supplement Runic Blade. It can't just be cool looking. It can't just be a troop you think is good. It doesn't matter. If the troop is good, that doesn't mean you should pick it. It needs to be good. It needs to be good and supplement Runic Blade. You can't just pick a cool troop because you think it's good outside of arena. You gotta pick a troop that's gonna supplement your yellow-green sword that needs to get a kill. So you want to help it get that kill so it can get plus 10 to every stat. So that's how you form a team. Cover every color and use 3 troops that will help Runic Blade get a kill, basically, or generate mana, or protect him. So that's what you need to do to win on arena. Especially on normal, it's pretty easy. I usually win like 99% of the time with Runic Blade. I know some people wanted to see something other than Runic Blade, but I'm trying to do like a, more harder and harder arenas, so I'm using what I'm comfortable with. Anybody can get it, so I'm not sure why people want to use something different. It's easy to get. It's really awesome. It's like the best arena weapon in my opinion. I pick it over Dawnbringer all the time. I have Dawnbringer. I could use Dawnbringer and be perfectly fine saying that I beat Warlord 4 with Dawnbringer. I still think that's impressive. And I would still feel a sense of accomplishment, and I would be fine with that if they took out Arena and I beat Warlord 4 with Dawnbringer. I would be fine with that. But I think Runic Blade is better, hot take, in Arena than Dawnbringer. So, just because of the way it can scale, the way it can gain stats, and then it can match the other team, which is gaining tons of stats every time you increase the difficulty, I just think Runic Blade is awesome. And I love doing arena. I know it's not the most favorable game, not the most popular game in Gems of War. I think because people can't win. I think they don't like it because they can't beat it. I think that is why. I think it's fun. I hate pay to win stuff. Like what's going on right now? Let's guild the towers right now. That is so pay to win. If you get on that leaderboard, you're spending tons of gems to get more sigils. There's no way you're doing it for free to get on that leaderboard. There's no freaking way. Unless you get so lucky that you get a Raven Tower every single time, there's no way. You're paying to win. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. Faction events. There was one yesterday for the Warrens. If you got on that leaderboard, you paid to win. There's no doubt about it. You had to buy every single pack. You had to buy multiples of the last one, I bet, to get on that leaderboard. You had to at least spend way more gems than anybody would doing it for free. Is this a big deal? No, not really. All I'm trying to say is arena's not pay to win. The only way you can pay to win arena is if you play over and over and over and over and over. Which, that just means, the longer you take to win, the more times you have to do it. You're not as good as somebody else that can beat it in one try. So I don't know why I always rant about pay to win. I just hate the way the Gems of War is going right now. It's a lot of pay to win stuff, and I should probably just talk less about it. Talk less, but just gets on my nerves looking at people making the scoreboard by spending 10,000 gems on sigils. Way to go, buddy. Here's your consolation trophy for blowing your wad and showing no skill. The only skill you got is grinding. You grinded out a bunch of gems and then you spin them all so you could get the leaderboard. You pretty much bought your spot on the leaderboard. So I guess we might as well pay attention to this arena now that it's 20 minutes in. I just wanted to let you know how to use Runic Blade, how to get it, how to pick your team, why you should play arena, why I made this video, which is because this may be going bye-bye. You may want to play arena now while you can. And most people, they probably don't care. They don't care if it disappears off the face of the earth. I just don't know where I'm gonna play to challenge myself if arena disappears. Where can I go to challenge myself after that? Maybe Delves, maybe, but that's kind of pay to win too, kinda. You can definitely pay to win in the Delves. You can wait till there's a faction event, buy tons and tons of turns until you have enough turns to win. It's pretty much just buying yourself a bunch of extra turns, a bunch of extra lives. That'd be like playing Mario, and you start out with 5 lives, but in Mario they say, hey, if you give me $5, I'll give you another extra life, another try. You stink at the game, so you die 5 times. You run out of lives, and you say, here's $5 so I can try again. You play and you lose again. Here's another $5 so I can try again. They say, here you go, here's another try, buddy. Keep giving us that $5 and you can keep trying until you win. Keep paying us and you can keep trying until you win. That's what pay to win is, and that's what all the leaderboards are. Pretty much. And that's why I like arena. I'm not trying to say, don't, anybody that pays to win, that's your, good for you. That's fun for you. You like to grind, and you like to use your the stuff you get from grinding to give yourself an advantage. I understand. I'm just trying to say why I like arena and why I think it should stick around. And I don't think it's a popular opinion, so I'm trying to defend it here. So if I'm rubbing you the wrong way about the pay to win crap, I'm very sorry. That's just the way I feel. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Doesn't mean I might not do it one day. I might throw all my gems at a freaking leaderboard so I can get a power orb, since that's like the only way to get them. I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to bow down and ask for all my extra turns until I'm good enough to win. I'm gonna have to keep paying for extra turns until I can finally get on that leaderboard and get that power orb. I'm gonna have to do that one day, so I'm gonna be a hypocrite. I already know it. I just don't like it. And that's why I like arena. So I'm trying to defend arena before it gets taken out of the game. So like I said, we're trying to use our runic blade to knock down the enemy into kill range. My runic blade does 14 damage starting out, so I need to knock the enemy under 14 damage, or to 14 or under, to make sure I can get a kill. That way I can get plus 10 to every stat off of that kill from runic blade. That'll give me 20 attack, 24 damage with my spell, and more durability. You'll see it jump up here as soon as we can get one of these enemies, like right there. Just use my enchantress to hit every enemy that knocked their north render, or whatever it's called, in the second slot there, down to 13. That's good enough for a kill for the runic blade. Now we got runic blade up. He's only got 6 health, but he's about to kill that north render there, or whatever it's called, who has 13 health. Bam. See that? My attack jumped up to 20. and my spell now does 24, and that's why it's awesome. Even on Warlord 2, it can win, so you know it can on normal. That hero would not have that much health right now on normal. He wouldn't have that much attack. Neither would those two. That turtle down there would never have that much durability on normal. Warlord 2 just buffs up their stats a bunch, and that's what I'm trying to beat right now. I'm going to try to do Warlord 3 next, if I get time to do it, because I'm afraid they're going to take this out in the next update, which is as soon as a week away. Sometime mid-October, which is right now. And they actually killed my hero. That is devastating. Luckily, we have that summoner, though. I was on the fence on whether to pick the summoner or the wolf knight, because they're both, decent. But I think the higher you go in difficulty, the better the summoner looks. And the lower you go in the difficulty, the better the wolf knight looks. That was my rare choice. I'm glad I picked summoner. I was kind of 50-50 on it, because I used his summon at least 2 or 3 times throughout these 8 battles whenever my hero would die. So a summon is really good in difficult stuff like arena, especially the higher difficulties. The lower difficulties you probably won't need it, but if you think you need some more durability on your team and more of a safety net, then the summoner is pretty okay. Plus he gives everybody life, so that helps keep your runic blade alive. When you don't need the summon, he gives a decent amount of life too. So I'm glad I picked him. And the enchantress is awesome. I would always recommend her as long as you need the purple. She damages every enemy for 8, and she will enchant a random ally. The innkeeper I would never recommend. The only reason I picked him was because all 3 choices sucked. They were all dog crap, and he was like the crap with the peanut in it, the shiny turd. And I only used him like once out of all these 8 battles, because it was just like a situation where he was the only thing up, and I didn't have any matches to make or anything, so I increased my attack and hoped for some skulls. Almost done with this battle. Hopefully we can get another summon off here. There we go. Another bone daemon. Took a nice shot for the enchantress there. And still alive with 1 health. We're going to try to get our enchantress up so we can... Well, he's submerged, so that's not going to help. So we're either going to have to wait till he's unsubmerged, or do some skull damage, or use the bone daemon to do some damage here. I guess he gained a bunch of armor from the troop that was in the 3rd slot there. I can't remember which one it was, but I think she gave armor to it. But every time it casts, it does submerge. So at one point here, I'm trying to take green and red as much as I can, so he'll stop submerging, so I can hit him with the enchantress, which isn't even a ton of damage. It'd just be chipping away. But we do have 12 attack on our enchantress, so if we can just get some skull damage like right now, that'd be great. That would take almost 1/3 of its health away. But I'll still cast enchantress even though it's submerged. That way, just so I can get a enchant on like maybe the summoner, so I can summon a bone daemon. Of course, it did it on the innkeeper that time, but at least the innkeeper will give us some attack, which will help in this situation where magic won't, because he's submerged all the time. And now we have our summoner up. We can summon in another bone daemon. I think the 3rd of this matchup. Really ended up being really useful. I'm glad I picked the summoner for this team. And he's also red and purple, which I picked him before I picked the enchantress. So I had to pick innkeeper. He was my common. Crappy pick. I had no other choice. He's yellow, which is like the worst color you can pick, especially pure yellow. Especially his spell is terrible. I would never recommend him. Then I picked summoner next, so I didn't have any damage at the time, but I was hoping that my ultra rare would have some damage. But the color was good. The red and the purple matched with the yellow and green. That's awesome. That's covering 4 different colors. So that was great. Then enchantress, I didn't have any way to cover another color with the choices I had for ultra rare. So she was the best choice out of the 3, because she did damage to every enemy, and also had the perk of enchanting a random ally, which is good. So we got the Summoner giving us life every time he casts, and the Innkeeper giving us attack every time he casts, and the Summoner summoning a Bone Daemon into the first slot, which can do some damage to the turtle whether or not he's submerged. And our attack's going up, and our life's going up every turn, every time the Summoner or Innkeeper does something. And the Enchantress is enchanting somebody every time she casts, and whenever it's not submerged, it gets a hit off, so just a matter of time here. There's no way this turtle can beat us unless he gets a ton of skulls in a row somehow. So this was just a matter of time. I'm really lucky to actually win on Warlord 2 with my hero dying so many times. Ooh, we actually killed the Enchantress. I forgot about that. This is post-commentary, by the way. I'm having trouble recording. This is like my third try at doing it, so forgive me for the post-commentary. I just treat it like myself reacting to my own content, my own video. And this was my first try. Believe it or not, I don't care if you believe me. This was my first try at Warlord 2. And it's going really well. I don't want to spoil it, but it went really well. We got Bone Daemon up, but we also have Skulls, so we can do a bunch of damage here. Looking good. Now we could cast Bone Daemon if we want. Or we can get that Summoner up again, so we can have 2 Bone Daemons, which is a decent choice. Go ahead and cast that before he dies. Maybe get some more Skulls with a Doom Skull here. Extra damage. Got it down to 9. Our Summoner has 15 attacks, so there's the kill finally. We would have just kept summoning Bone Daemons until we won, so there you go. 7-0 on Warlord 2. I'm just trying to show you. You can do it on normal. If I can do it on Warlord 2, you can do it on normal. If I have Runic Blade, you can have Runic Blade. I'm not using Dawnbringer. I'm using a weapon that you can get. No matter what your level is, the only way you maybe don't have it is if you're under level like 75 or 100. Which in that case, just get all your quests done, get all your kingdom quests done. Don't worry about soul farming at that point. Anybody worrying about soul farming should definitely have Runic Blade. That's why I'm using it, because anybody that would get any value out of this will definitely have this weapon. You may not like it, but you'll learn to love it. If you play the way it's meant to be played, you'll learn to love it. It is a good weapon for arena. It's like the perfect weapon for arena, in my opinion. I barely ever lose with it. I'm beating Warlord 2 without any losses right now. You can definitely beat normal. You can definitely beat normal, and you can definitely get Runic Blade. All you gotta do is pick your team better and realize that Runic Blade needs to get a kill for you to win. Pick your team better. Make sure Runic Blade gets a kill. If you don't like Runic Blade, that's probably why you don't like it. You don't understand it. Or you don't have it, which you should definitely have it. 20 green mastery, 20 yellow mastery. You pick mastery after you level up. Wait till green's there or yellow's there, then pick it. Maybe it shouldn't be your first weapon you pick, but it should be one of your 3 to 5 range type weapons. In the top 5 first weapons that you get for mastery, at least. But that's why I'm making this. You can beat arena. If I can do it on Warlord 2, you can do it on normal. I'm also making it just for my own sense of accomplishment. Just want to have it recorded before arena is gone. That's why I named the video what I named it. Rest in peace, Gems of War difficulty slider? Question mark. Because they're hinting towards it heavily. They took it out of challenges. They changed challenges totally. People were still using challenges for soul farming. People played challenges every day. That's what makes me nervous. Arena's like a, 50-50 thing. 50% like it, 50% hate it. Most people don't play it anymore once they get to a certain level. And some people never play it. Some people don't like it. Some people love it. It's, controversial game, and it could be taken out just because of that. They get rid of the difficulty slider, which they probably will, at least in like the vault. Like there's gonna be changes. There's no reason to have a difficulty slider in the vault. Why would you want the gnomes to have more chances to run away? That's stupid. And there you go, 8 and freaking 0. 8-0. Look at that. 8 little swords in the right hand corner. No skulls. Warlord 2 the whole time. That was my first try. Runic blade, not dawnbringer. Crappy troops. Innkeeper. Look at that. I just think that's awesome. I think it's awesome. Sorry, I think it's awesome. 3,360 souls. So divide that by 8 and you get like 400 souls a battle or whatever. That's not bad. You're getting like less than that per battle of soul farming with warlocks, I can tell you that. But yeah, I used a innkeeper who sucks. I used runic blade, which isn't dawnbringer. I did it on Warlord 2 the whole time, and I went 8-0. So good for early soul farming. Runic blade, easy to get. Please like, share, subscribe. If you're still watching, man, interact with those ads, please. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but if you're still watching, then I love you, and I could probably say that crap to you. So please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Hope you got something out of this. Peace.